It's been a while since I've done these, but let's take a look at Team Liquid versus Cloud9. So this happened last week on Friday, and I didn't actually get to really watch this one live. I saw a little bit of the highlights, saw a bit of here and there. So I wanted to dive into this. So Yumi, Olaf, and Volibear banned by Team Liquid. They don't want to play Olaf. They don't want to give Blabber the chance to play Olaf. And honestly, I don't blame you. He farms too fast, and the team is too good at that. So if you're trying to just grab a hold of the game early against Cloud9, getting rid of the Olaf is a good idea. And Volibear, so I don't want to first pick it. It's quite easy for Cloud9 a second row to take it on R1 and R2. And Cloud9 bans Varus, Syndra, and Blitzcrank. So super interesting right there, the Blitzcrank ban to me, because CoreJJ has shown Blitz, I don't know if twice. I think he showed it later. Maybe showed it on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. But why a Blitz ban is my question. So there's really not a lot that you would think, like, why would you want a Blitzcrank? The only thing that comes to my mind is you want to play Thresh. Thresh right now is probably the best blinded support, right? Super easy, very good in team fights. Stoneplay itemization means that you don't actually need a secondary tank or a main tank. He can actually be really useful with between Aftershock and Stoneplay if you have good enough coordination. Super good, very safe. Kallista's up, so there's a lot that Cloud9 can work with. That's the big thing. Kallista is up, but you wouldn't want to take Kallista into Graves here, so Cloud9 is, let's see what they go for. We can put this on 2 speed. Yeah, if you're wondering why the hell I'm doing this now, well, let me tell you, this so much time, man. Might as well. Season started, been locked away for too long. I did all the shit you wanted to do. You already did it. So time to get back into form of watching games. So I don't expect to catch anything or everything, but a good start. You just gotta get the reps in. So put this back on to normal. That is Thresh and Set. So this could be Set jungle. So Set is a scene in jungle, scene on support, but because this is Blabber, this champion does not fit Blabber style at all. So this is very clearly a top lane pick. I don't know, I slowed down. Very clearly a top lane pick. So it can also be played mid, but again, this is just not the wheelhouse of Cloud9. So a lot of crowd control, a lot of peel. Very difficult for Graves to really get in range of any of these champions. And now Team Liquid answers with Twisted Fate. Really strong mid laner right now. I'm seeing LCK, even LPL ban it on red side. They don't want to first pick it. It's even been first picked. I think it was Faker that actually first picked it. So really strong pairing with Twisted Fate. Obviously there's a little bit stronger ones, but this is a really good one for Graves. Graves wants to get into your jungle, be really aggressive, and between his face rush and the TF port, it's really easy to catch you off guard. And then the Aatrox comes in, so they'll want Aatrox against Set. It's a fine matchup. The one thing that already stands out to me is that Cloud9 is going to be really happy to have a Thresh. Thresh against TF, really strong. You can always lantern somebody out. So there's not that many targets that Jensen's going to be able to go for. There's a lot less room for making plays as TF when you're dealing with a Thresh. And then Cloud9 takes Cassiopeia. We've seen Sven play Cassio, and we've seen Niski play Cassio. This is not something that Cloud9 takes a lot, but it is a flex. So already Cloud9 really taking advantage of red side, making it difficult for Team Liquid to draft, and they're going to ban away Ezreal. So really annoying pick right now. It's just kind of crazy strong, because you could still go Ezreal with like a Karma. You'd have a lot of synergy with your Graves and the Aatrox. It really wouldn't fit the Team Liquid, the Twisted Fate strategy, but it's something that is really pesky for this Cloud9 comp that doesn't have that really good of an engage so far, right? It's only Set, and if he flanks or if you get caught by a hook. Cassio wants champions to go into you, so Aatrox and Graves are going to have a really hard time here, which is why the Aatrox pick is a little suspicious here into Cassiopeia. Now Team Liquid bans out the Nocturne. Again, don't want to deal with a big threat to TF. TF can't ult or can't really do much to Nocturne. And then Cloud9 bans away Kalista. So Kalista really fits the Team Liquid synergy right now, because you would be super aggressive in the bottom lane. If you had Kalista, you could go like a Kalista Nautilus, and I mean, not ideal into the Thresh, but definitely can be abused if you have a lot of early power, which the Twisted Fate could definitely provide with some early roams. And another global banned out from Jensen. So making sure that I don't know why I keep saying Team Liquid, I just see the TL in front, that Jensen is set up for success. And now just a Lee. So this is already really strong from Cloud9. I like Lee a lot here because, again, it's the same thing. You're not giving a target for Jensen to engage upon. So not only is he really slippery against TF, you've got Lantern, and against the short range Graves and Aatrox, the kick can be useful, but overall he's just a really strong pick dependent on the skill of your jungler. And Blabber is the best jungler in NA right now. It's not even close. So I like this pick right now. It's got a lot of synergy with Thresh, so that's going to be the roam squad that we want to see so far. And then obviously we knew that the bottom lane was going to have a lot of firepower and crowd control to set up the TF, and it doesn't get any better than Kaisa and Nautilus when it comes to following up on a deep diving target. So ideally TF ports into somebody gold card, and either Kaisa comes in or it started with the Nautilus ultimate. So even though Cloud9 has a lot of peel, the ability for Team Liquid's lineup to chase you down is really, really strong. And then Niski answers with Zoe. Really like the Zoe pick here. It is a really strong mid laner. It's going to be fine against TF. It's going to get Jensen to go on the cleanse. Super strong pairing with Lee Sin. And now you have a decent way of abusing the short range Graves. Graves against Zoe. Good luck with that one. It is never a mid laner that you really want to get near. It's kind of like the Syndra idea. Unless Zoe is super far behind, Graves is just not going to have a good time there. The best he can offer is perhaps a smoke screen there, but his itemization, the range is really difficult to deal with. So I like what Cloud9 drafted so far. And let's go into the game, because both teams, I think, have very clear win conditions. So obviously Team Liquid wants to abuse the jungle, use TF to dive the bottom lane, whereas for Cloud9, they are really strong in anti-dive. Like, this is not a composition you want to dive, but they also have some pretty good offensive tools. So I think that Cloud9 will want to be setting up for objectives first. That's what they always have done this year. Just get into objectives first, and if they're there, it becomes a lot easier for them to then engage onto you, whether it's using the terrain with bubbles or using Blabber for kicks. So a lot of the Cloud9 engage is not easy to pull off. It actually is very dependent on skill shots or flanks. And I think we didn't even get to see the level 1. Nothing happened. Team Liquid has had the most varied let's move my camera here. TL has had the most varied level 1s so far in this game. I think they've done 3 different level 1s. 2 of them were invades in the bottom try when they're red side, and one of them was level 1 blitz in the mid lane. So them doing nothing here just says we know what we need to do. We are just gonna farm it up, and the junglers are off to the races. So this is a really classic Lee route: red to blue to Grom to Wolf. So there's no point ganking bottom lane here. You have level 1s on your Cassio. It's just a bit of a waste of time. Even if it's not warded, the chance of you getting a kill is minimal. You're better off farming, and you know that they'll just crash the wave and rotate over. I like looking at the games through the jungle lens. Obviously that's my role. It's what I'm most familiar with. And well, and when you've got Blabber versus Broxa, you actually get a pretty good treat of what jungling looks like. And we got Broxa, blue side red into Raptors. So just trying to keep his health as high as possible. He's only used one potion, and he has a trinket, so a sweeper. So he hasn't. I think he's swept a ward before, and Blabber doesn't can't afford to trade to a red trinket early because Lee's mobility is too hampered by that. So this is a big defining moment. 315 crabs. Now, obviously Blabber finishes topside, but look at this. Look at this, though. What is going on? Blabber has a free scuttle top. You know that. No, you should know. Let's see. You should know that. Yeah, because Licorice sweep top, you know, right here. So when Licorice pops this, bam, you know Graves is bot side. So you know that Graves just did a full clear top side. And Core warded the Gromp and knows that Lee is essentially around mid lane because they saw him finishing the Gromp rotating to Wolves. They didn't know that he did Wolves entirely, but they saw him there. So what crab do they go for? Because bot lane has prio here. And bot lane has prio for Team Liquid. Mid has prio for C9. He goes into the river first. Now this is a bait. They're trying to bait Jensen into the river then. See if they can catch him. They both miss everything, but if they caught him there, you could burn some free summoners, get some pressure on Jensen, and maybe get the scuttle, since now bot lane gets to rotate as the wave crashes in. So this is Cloud9 already pushing for an advantage, in my opinion, where they're looking for Jensen with nice emo. But it's Cloud9 pushing for an advantage, seeing what they can get away with. If you can chunk out Jensen, then you can contest for the scuttle, and because Licorice has top prio, Broxah would not be able to rotate over, so you could double scuttle if that play went well for C9. So I like it so far, but nothing came of it. You just have a nice CS lead built in the top lane, and then Blabber goes home after Krugs, just like Broxah, who just did all his camps, scuttle, base. Now on Olaf, Blabber likes to base after the full clear and go for a 5-minute dragon. Lee can do it. Obviously not ideal for him to go for that early of a dragon. You want to be a lot more aggressive on the map. Farming is not nearly as big a priority here, but if you path this to the bottom side, you'll still be able to potentially go for that, since both mid laners are basing right now. And the bottom lane is also basing, so there would be an opportunity to go for this if he chooses to do it, but it's just not really the play for a Lee. You want your team, especially if you can have a Cassiopeia helping you out there. The faster you can get that, the faster you can start applying pressure back on the map. Big thing to note is how these recall timers are used. So looks like the one desynced here for Team Liquid is Jensen is basing now, and look at Blabber and Niski. They're back on the map at relatively similar times, and the bottom lane's both based at around the same time. I think it's only Core JJ that based a little bit later. And what did both junglers do with this time? Because notice now that Niski, or Vulcan and Blabber are grouped together around Dragon, whereas Broxah has gone off to the top side to counter jungle. There's pings on the blue side, but they don't know this, and so the desync in bot lane timers, I think, is what allows Cloud9 to go for this dragon a little bit later than usual, but you can do it grouped. It's a lot better. And the price to pay for that is probably all but one chicken, because you saw that Broxah was over there, and he hasn't. The camp hasn't disappeared, so you know that camp is still up. And now is when Team Liquid should really start to get an advantage, or should be pressing for an advantage, because Jensen is level 6. He's got a catalyst, so he's gonna have a good lane sustain. He's already used his dematerializers. And you've got side lane pressure on bottom. Not yet. Okay, so where does Jensen use his port? Because you want to see some dives, or you want to see him follow Broxah around. Now there's bottom lane movement. Blabber going for the scuttle. And now, okay, hook misses. Niski was roaming down, so that if a fight would have broken out, mid laner Niski would have collapsed faster. But let's see what Team Liquid does here, because they still don't know Broxa is quite there. You can only infer that because he started blue side, he might be at the blue side. So that's what C9 might be thinking. But because Core warded the earlier blue, they should also know that the enemy blue is about to spawn. So Broxa sneaks in here, and now the bottom lane goes in. Now this is an opportunity where if you look at the map, I think this should be a dive. I think this should be a dive from Team Liquid. So Impact is fighting Licorice, and they're really close to each other. The wave is stable. Should be able to stop any ports, and he's not going to die if he stops this. Both have tab eyes. If Sven was 6, maybe it's risky, but look at this wave crashing. You've got Broxa already level 6 before he invaded that. You've got all summoners up. There's no heal on the bottom lane, only an exhaust. I think there's enough burst between, say, Core flash autoing Sven, locking him down. Now, the only caveat would be you could have C9 play around the turrets and avoid a lot of the Graves damage. But if you also have Jensen port in here, that's a free kill. So I think that this window where they went for a blue invade could have been used for a tower dive in the bottom lane, because you at least can pop the port and see, okay, maybe we shouldn't go for it. And if you see that Blabber is on the blue side, then you can have Broxa and Jensen collapse onto Blabber. But they don't do anything with it, and Jensen didn't have mana. His mana was quite low. It might not have been enough for port and card combo, maybe just a single card. Other than that, though, I think that was a move for Team Liquid. Then that's up to Jensen to set up his mana or something, because now it's too late. Cassio's level 6. That's going to be a lot harder to pull off since Core is not level 6. And even then, that is when it gets really risky. Obviously, if you have insane mechanics and everybody can dodge out of the petrifying gaze, it's doable. But it's still a lot riskier now. And the window has faded. So I think that that's something that Team Liquid could have gone for. I think the LPL would have done that, for sure. For sure. And this is Brox. I think he was trying to go for a Rift Herald. We don't really get to see it. We're looking at the teleports. But now 2 members of Team Liquid are here. Brox is fighting this. Now Blabber is going to have a field day here because he's not taking Herald aggro. Just gets a little bit of poke out. The fight top is really important. It's going to determine who gets to collapse here. And now C9 is trying to go for a steal here. Gets a proto on Broxa. Brox is in some trouble now. He gets stunned. Ooh, good gold card by Jensen. Look at Blabber. What a he knew he's dead. No matter what, I don't even think Impact needs to hit him for him to be dead. But now Impact gets doubles, and C9 just wants to continue to go in here. Kind of bold. Kind of bold. I think they could have just walked away from this. Let me see. Let's see that again. All right, so the fight top determines that Licorice gets to walk in first. Unlucky that Brox's ult didn't hit anybody. Let's see. Maybe Blabber doesn't die, but okay, gold card hits. Because there's a control ward here. I think they could have run. They could have maybe ran, but I respect the effort. Maybe a little bit of an upward angle on Licorice's Haymaker would have actually saved that play. Would have actually maybe traded 1 for 1, and maybe if he gets doubles, then he can start to battle out Jensen. But with Flash and Cleanse against a set that already used Haymaker, I think TF could have kited him out. So Cloud9 kind of greeting out for that. Let's see how they play, how it went back again. Don't mind seeing this again because, again, Rift Herald is the objective here, right? The second that Broxa gets hit by this, you can just take the Rift Herald, right? The Rift Herald is a possibility here to just take the objective, but you know Cloud9 is not going for that. I'm not sure if he charges up second shot would have killed them. I mean, you just gotta respect the like, right? If that Haymaker misses, I'm thinking maybe Licorice has a shot. at taking down Jensen there. But we cut to live, and then the bottom lane roamed up. And they secure the Herald. But this timing of Herald might be quite costly for Team Liquid because second dragon is coming up. Blabber can get to solo it, and we don't know how low bot lane turret is for Cloud9. Obviously, Cassiopeia is not going to be the best pusher, but they are going to get a dragon for it, it seems. Uh-oh. What is Impact doing here? Okay, Blabber can just pull off here. It'll be worth it to pull off. You can just get the kill. It's fine. Oh, Sven flashed for it. Yeah, not a big deal to pull off the aggro. This is what you want your junglers to be doing. You want them to give up the objective when a free kill like that goes on, because if you just let Impact bully out Vulcan, then you're going to lose that dragon anyway. So this is the right call. And then the top side, I wonder if Core and Tactical are trying to dive. Like, oh, the hook misses. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. That is trolling. Oh, he's so lucky he didn't die. Good thumb. Good emote. Good emote. That's it. That's a bit of uncoordination. I want to see that again. What happened there? Where was Brox at? Because this turret is really low. This turret is really, really low. No, okay. So they crashed the first turret and Brox is like, okay, I'm going to go farm. But when Impact shows here, and we see 4 members of C9, you know that Licorice is alone. So I think ideally you would have wanted Broxa to be countering the Raptors instead of going for his own camp, and then he'd be in a better position to kill Licorice, because that should have 100% been a kill on Licorice, right? Like, Licorice should not be alive here. The fact that he survives and even gets summoners out is just a Team Liquid misplay, though, because they had the right position to get a 2-for-1. Instead, now they've lost. They've only gotten 1 turret and traded it for a dragon. Ooh, yeah. Hate to see that, because if that hit, it actually might have been better. Let's see, where did Brox end up? Like, how did? Yeah, he's just a little bit late, right? He went for his Gromp, just got there a little bit late. I wonder if the kill would have gone down if Core hit it, because they also have Ignite. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of opportunity for Team Liquid to actually punish Cloud9 here. Like what Jensen was saying about it might not be as good as they think. I'm quoting it because I think it's a good quote, but there are opportunities that Cloud9 is presenting that I think a little bit more coordination, or thinking that these guys are gonna make mistakes or are gonna greed out. Not necessarily make mistakes, but greed out could be the way that Team Liquid gets into this game, because already those 2 dives would have been really good, and well, they have a good gold lead now, but they're gonna have to fight for this dragon in 4 minutes. Now, where are the sums? So somebody must have been timing sums. Licorice is another target again. Doesn't have flash, doesn't have merc, so Jensen can go to him, and so is Sven, but Vulcan is MIA. Now the setup is going to be around the bot side because they want to crack that bot lane turret. So lane assignments are multiple people, or bot lane to the bot lane again, top laners back to top. Both Jensen and Impact have a lot of power. They were the ones in that early skirmish, so they got that XP lead. Now let's see what goes down into the bottom lane, because everybody should know that the plays are all going to revolve around bottom right now. This is why top laners feel like their role isn't significant. It's not, but it becomes somewhat frustrating when you can just be pushed up here and both teams just know, all right, just let them do their thing despite being overextended in air quotes, because the more valuable play is to go for this, right? Killing Licorice here, like, okay, you could get the tier 2 here if TF goes up here, but you would lose that for your bottom tier 1, which will then lead to more map control for Cloud9 for the Dragon, and that's why they're rotating 4 members over. This turret is so low. If you just reinforce this, should be able to get it here, and they are here much sooner. If they can just proc that turret. Oh, that's gonna be a dead core. Oh, but he's got stopwatch. You got the Aatrox TP, but because there was no deep ward, that TP is just kind of defensive, and Cloud9's composition doesn't really want to dive you, so a defensive TP doesn't do anything. You ideally want a flanking teleport if you're trying to go for that, and they got chunked out so low. Cloud9 still wins that, so they got the TP, and Licorice gets to crash the top wave. You've also gotten core stopwatch from that, and it was only because they moved faster to the play, and you also got Jensen's ultimate, so actually that is pretty freaking massive. Uh-oh, Niski has ghost though. He pops it. Yep, auto ult. Ult would not have killed. Okay, so now Licorice has TP and Impact does not, so he can afford to stay top here and still find an opportunity to go for the Dragon. Team Liquid could sack the Dragon and put themselves, or get Impact to take the top tier 2, but that's not ideal in this position. You don't want to be giving away such an early Ocean Soul to Cloud9. That's just not what you, that is not the position you want to be in, considering how powerful they have been at just strangle holding opponents with an early soul threaten. So let's see how they do this, because you got 50 seconds. The itemization is pretty good here. Blabber has gone for the it's gonna go for the Edge of Night most likely with the serrated Dirk. And let's see how they play around vision. So you've got a pink on right side of mid, a pink on bot brush. They're clearing out the back of the Dragon Pit, so now they know river is fine. And now you'll fight for mid control. Now it's 30 seconds until the objective is up. And Team Liquid is trying to take Rift Herald in the meantime. If C9 fights this, or at least buys a lot of time, Team Liquid is not going to be able to go back to the Dragon. Now core is hidden, and look at the flank from this is Set's flank, so the engage is about to happen. Ooh, immediately delete the Thresh, and now Licorice is in some trouble. Gets a flash out. Sven does ult Impact, and he gets blown up too, so that's a much bigger kill, since core might as well have been out of the fight. So Cloud9 actually wins that, unless they can kill Niski. Yeah, core might as well be dead. He's so low, he can't really do anything. So now C9 gets to steal the Herald, and they could 2-man Dragon, or start it between Set and Cassiopeia. Wow, okay, I want to see how that fight played out. I really like just seeing individual fights play out, kind of in slow-mo fashion. Okay, so gold card catches him. Impact is zoning off Licorice. They immediately blow him up. He pops ulti to try to get Licorice down. Kaisa flashes over. Core flashes over. So both the bottom lane flashing over buys enough time and distracts the rest of the C9 members enough to actually get him down, or get him low enough. And now the Cassio ulti is really what does impact in. Niski had a Q fully charged up from his other side. So Team Liquid never really got to join that fight. That's so dirty. That's so dirty. I think that's actually, is that not, how did Niski get that stopwatch? Is that? Yeah, he had. Okay, well, we'll just watch it. We'll just watch it again. So this trade is kind of feels beneficial for C9, because core might as well be dead. You got the AD carry, and then this ultimate from Sven is kind of BS, Impact getting caught there. He greeted out a little bit because Licorice was kind of low, but they would have lost that already since Core could not have re-engaged. There's nobody that would have been able to get in range. So the bot lane already lost the fight, despite being able to trade for Vulcan. So that's kind of what you want from your support. If you're gonna die in a position that makes your opponent commit so many resources that you still win the fight. And this is why the range of Twisted Fate and Graves are not going to be that useful in these fights. They have to outnumber. Just going head on 5v5, Cloud9 is going to be stronger. That is what Cassiopeia is all about. Just consider that Twisted Fate's ultimate is not a fighting ultimate, right? It is simply a repositioning. It's like thinking, oh, Shen is a fighting ultimate. Not. There's more powerful abilities that will completely outshine that. And now Cloud9 is going to be threatening a soul at 23 minutes. And notice what itemization they're going to have. So it looks like at that time you'll have the Leandries, Seraphs on Cassio. I mean, that's just the biggest one because a lot of members will rely on that one. Uh-oh, Core, okay. Gets out on time. Blabber went for Umbral Glaive. I've been trying this a lot in my games. I think this item is just so freaking busted, especially on a champion like Lee, where you're not wanting to itemize Sweeper. Sweeper just sucks on Lee. You really want to be going for that yellow trinket all game long. The mobility is too much. Your mobility is everything in these fights. If you can't just ward hop liberally in your fights and go for ward hop kicks, or you have to be spending all your money on control wards just to reposition around the fight, you're just going to be sinking money into plays that are not even guaranteed. Whereas this is just a great item for him. You're obviously not running zombie ward, which would be amazing if you could just kill the ward and now you have more places for you to ward hop to, but this is a really nice look, and the double ruby makes me think this is definitely a black cleaver. Now it'll only help out your set, but it gives you HP. I've seen some builds in the LPL where I think it was SOFM, he's been going with kind of like a Trundle-ish Lee Sin build where he rushed Knight's Vow despite being ahead. I've been trying some like Redemption Trundle builds. I think there's a lot more variety with the jungle builds than people give credit for, so I like seeing Blabber try things out here. Now so far, TL has not really used their port too well. They've been taking a lot of fights where they're not getting to outnumber the opposition. Right? What I envisioned here is you're going to use Kaisa and Nautilus to go for this. Now, they're going for this Herald despite Kaisa not having Mirror Mana completed. She has Rage Blade, so she's going to be able to just shred through this, and immediately they spot it out. The key for Cloud9 to have spotted that out is TF showed bottom on a wave, so you know that TF is not really being shadowed by anybody. He's probably capable of porting anywhere else. Aatrox was top, so where is the bottom lane? No one's defending mid. Kaisa has Rage, but you press tab to see that. Okay, if they're not mid, where could they be? If they feel like they're behind or struggling or trying to make a play, the only available thing is 20-minute Baron. Respect the call, but that's gonna work maybe 1 out of 10 games. 1 out of 10 games that's gonna happen. If the enemy is asleep at the wheel for maybe like 10 seconds, you get that. And this is our first port. Licorice just biding his time. Gonna ult over. Redemption from the Thresh. Everybody's collapsing. I think Licorice can survive. Oh, okay. Blabber gets here in time. Whew. Okay, almost. He didn't have flash. If he had flash, I think he lives on enough. That's what we wanted to see, right? So that's a good first pick from the TF ulti. Now, that's 21 minutes in. 21 minutes is what it took Team Liquid to get the first port in. That's one of the things you'd like to see them clean up in the future. We obviously know the outcome of this game, but that is the one area that I think I'd like to see them more, because the composition makes a lot of sense. You just want to see it, the execution of it be a bit faster, because you want to start abusing that global ASAP. But credit to Cloud9 for their draft. I'm going to keep repeating that. If you're up against these globals, just consistently pick champions that are hard to pick or hard to engage upon, right? If you have champions like a Nocturne that want to dive in, or melees that are short range, you pick things that make their jobs a lot harder, and you're not essentially countering them, but you're sure as hell giving them less options to work with. Now 20 seconds onto this dragon. Everybody's based. Umbral and Tabby's from Lee. Hasn't really gotten anything else. Leandri's double stopwatch from the bottom lane from Cloud9. They've got mid control, and Niski goes in first. Takes a gold card to the face, but it's just going to be a 5-on-5. And Cloud9 is much stronger here, right? They don't have the global. They don't have a Twisted Fate. They have a Cassiopeia, and TF doesn't even have a lot of mana. He's going to have to just blue card these Raptors. You better keep those up so that he continues to get these. But the poke is going to benefit Team Liquid, and they see Impact by himself, immediately jump him, and Niski can just bide his time on the black side. So you got two summoners from Vulcan. Now they're kind of split up, but you can just continue to zone them off. Blabber goes for the re-engage. Ooh, hook goes wide. But he's so strong. This is lethality Lee Sin. Just immediately takes out Impact. Now on the top side, Niski just buys so much time by himself, but they're going to port on him. His cleanse is down, so a good trade, but they commit to the top side. C9 is already on the Baron. Brox is the only hope. Flashes in, can't get the steal. Oh, man. That is rough. Now this fight, it all happened from the setup. The setup was everything. The fight itself was minimal. It was like, why was Team Liquid funneling themselves into that play at that time? Jensen does not have flash. He only has cleanse. He's dead to rights. Cassio has full mana. They're not going to go for a Baron here, despite Licorice having TP up. You can just clear the way, but you do have Ocean Soul. Let's see that again. I'm trying to watch these in the way that a team would in like a VOD review, trying to pinpoint like what it is that everybody went for. Right? Could this have been fixed a little bit earlier? So let's watch about a minute earlier. So this is why, right? They went for the play. Top. Watch the bases. Everybody's out on the map. Kaisa bases right now. So you don't have Jensen's ultimate. You don't have any way to contest any vision here, right? Oh, and even later of a base is Broxa. So there's just no way for Team Liquid to actually go in to the river safely. You don't know where Cloud9 is just yet. You only see Vulcan, and now you see Sven and Niski. But because they weren't grouped, it's just impossible for them to want to contest this. They can only group up here and think, okay, yeah, we can kind of contest the mid-wave. But now they're all grouping here, and there's no pressure on the sidelines, so there's really nothing to go for. Should they have then gone for the play on set? I think that's the big question. Or would better resets have actually done the work? Because Tactical just picked up a Nashor's Tooth. I don't think that would have been a huge game changer in a fight. This is just what I like to see about Cloud9, right? The smoke screen does a good job to deter the engage on to Impact, but they got his flash, and this is just even better, right? Bam. You know Brox is going to get away from this. He's too squishy of a champion to survive against this. Blabber is just so darn strong with this build. Lethality on the Lee. I love to see it. Love, love, love it. So they give up the objective. I think at this point it's just too late in my opinion. I think that Team Liquid just had more opportunities to take advantages earlier to be in a better position to win these fights. That dive earlier bottom, and then better recalls would have done them some justice. So better synchronization of their recalls, whereas Cloud9 really synced up on their objectives and on the pressure that their lanes provide when the objectives are up. Now they can just do this. You've got Ocean Soul. Set's gonna TP. Is he gonna go into the Lantern? Like, why is this Lantern there? Where is he TPing? Okay, goes into the ward. So it comes in from the flank. They're not gonna take any damage here. Oh, Impact. Gets a pull on Niski, but Flavor, it's just going to sit here, take out the Baron while the rest of the team zones it out. Broxa just cannot get in. Guys, if you're up against the Graves, pick Cassiopeia. Short range carries against anything that has long range magic damage is just brutal. Same thing with Zoe. So we get to look at the fight again. I mean, like, what can they do? They're all funneling through the same area, right? Like, this is just not going to be a winning fight. You have no vision of Cloud9, right? You have no idea what's going on, where the bubbles or the hooks are coming from. Because Van can always hit you with a flash ultimate, so don't forget that Cassio can also be aggressive. And then the re-engage here is just sick. Like, maybe you could have Tactical try to ult into this, but like, what is he going to accomplish here? He's just going to die with the rest of them. Broxa can't group up with him either. So the one time that you get to see what the comp can do, which is ult a single target and have Port and Kaisa go into them, it's the first time we see it in the game. First time we see it, and it actually loses them the objective. Not like they had a shot at winning it, but we get to say that for now. So now Cloud9's got Baron, they've got Soul, they've got a fed Zoe, they've got a fed Cassio, and Team Liquid does not have a good way of engaging against it. So things are looking good. They can just barrel down the mid lane. Now they're probably not going to go for a sieging mid too easily. There's decent wave clear on Team Liquid, and there's no ranged attackers. This is one of the weaknesses of mages in the mid lane. Sieging becomes fairly difficult, but there's a lot of standing gold, so Licorice was already crashing the top wave. Should be fairly textbook from now on. I think they'll give this a try with a big wave. You got a single cannon now, but you don't want to overcommit for this. Your best bet is you want Team Liquid to engage on you and then kite it out. Try to keep that minion, that cannon, alive as long as possible. That's going to be your ticket to taking down these turrets. Big wave, but Jensen's not here, so the wave clear isn't really doing anything. What happened there? Why did Jensen have to base? So he's clearing mid, but once again he's kind of out of low mana. Let's see. Oh, pulls a gold. Wait a minute, he just leaves. Okay, so they just all leave when the wave is crashing. I don't know. I feel like they could have defended. Look, there's a smoke screen there that makes it kind of tricky for them to walk up. Well, here comes the... Without a turret, it's a lot harder for TL to defend this. Cassie can just auto this freely, and the cannons do the rest of the work. I don't know. That looked too easy. That looked too easy for me. I think Jensen might have needed to have a little bit more mana in his pool. Maybe not pull a gold card there. I mean, obviously you want to threaten that, but is C9 really gonna walk up like that when you don't have a range carry? Because now they get a lot of value out of the Baron. Nice. Emote spam, let him know. Just try to time the recall together so you don't get any stragglers getting picked off by the port. So my takeaway so far is I'm going to throw a little bit of criticism here. I think I would have liked to see Jensen maybe with more mana in the mid lane before the play into the bottom lane, and then the defense of that turret there. Because look at how quickly that Baron faded. I think if they stopped that push, it would have been it. I don't think they would have lost the inhib that quickly. That looked too easy. But we'll move on. There's still hope for Team Liquid here. They need to win the Elder fight. Kaisa's obviously very fed, or very strong right now. She would be the saving grace. There's a ton of damage in her. Is that a 400 gold bounty too? You would never have thought that, but the gold is fairly even so far. Kills are even too. It's mostly that Cloud9 has so many turrets. 9 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 has so many Core is forced to leave because it's got nobody here. So Cloud9 just again a lot sooner quicker to the punch in the defense here. And because everybody's here, they thought they catch Blabber, but he stays alive. Double shield, flashes out with the redemption to keep him alive. But everybody's already here. This is a 3-on-4 and then a 3-on-5. Jensen didn't really make it there. Aatrox CP'd. He gets stunned. No Merc Treads. He is instantly gonna go down. And now Set goes in. Big haymaker. He dies too. Cloud9 still has the inside track and a big poke right before the Elder. They also have freaking Ocean Soul. So this is definitely over here. Ooh, nice bubble, but there's a cleanse. That was just over from how it started. Over before it started. Look at the numbers advantage that Cloud9 has. So if Team Liquid has any hope of winning these fights, it's outnumbering somebody. It's trying to pick somebody off before C9 can group up. But they just don't have, they're never in position to do that. You've got Aatrox. I think he's gonna shove up the wave. What is he doing? Right, so Aatrox is shoving up top. Kaisa is shadowing TL. And there's nobody here with core. So Brox is chilling. Where do they go? Why are they not all with core? So Jensen goes back to the mid lane. Trying to hold this wave. I think his gold card would have been really useful here. But they just didn't know. This is just, I mean, you obviously want to point out the things that Team Liquid has to do to get back into the game when they're feeling like they're behind, but you also have to commend Cloud9 for being so quick to respond to their members getting picked off. Zoe, man. Zoe's loving the fact that there's a Felios and Yumi and all this, and Volibear and all the, everybody forgot how busted and annoying Zoe was until those champs came around. Actually, no, until they get nerfed. When they get nerfed, people will remember Zoe. It's just that she's so hard to play. Okay. Ooh, nice hook too. Dab on them. Whew, that was a good game. I think Cloud9 just had better fundamentals there. Honestly, I see a lot of windows for Team Liquid to have won that. Okay, so this is gonna go into, oh, that's not me. Okay, we didn't need to watch that. So from the start, I think Team Liquid had a timer on the composition just from the short range here. Cloud9 did a good job with their draft to make sure that they had answers to Graves and TF's range and certain specific weaknesses. Then the first thing was this dive, this opportunity for a dive. Again, I really think this was the play, right? Like, how is this not the play? Let's watch the waves again, because this is the big one. I honestly think this is just the biggest one that I think could have done so much for Team Liquid. Like, why does Broxa hit level 6? Does he hit level 6 at blue? Right. Look at that. He hits level 6 right now. So he must be soaking XP before moving up. So so he was right there. Right there. This dive. Oh, man. Okay, so we see the bottom. The bottom lane definitely could have moved in, right? The bottom lane in Broxa had position. The only question is, could Jensen have moved up? Could Jensen have moved up? Let's watch him a little bit earlier. Because he can just crash this wave. Okay, so he sees Zoe. He has to respect that Lee could be around. He backs off. He just, like, you could give up this wave, and you might be porting in vision. So it's that, I think it's that double control that makes it so scary. could he have done it? Because Zoe kind of pushed him in, and now the wave is gone, right? The wave bottom is already dead. I mean, the Niski and Blabber did a good job here, and this is already too late. I mean, it's not really too late. It just gets a lot harder because Venus is gonna be 6. But that's the big window. Anyways, I'll upload this, and we'll do more of these. I'm mostly just gonna be watching Cloud9 because I want to do all the teams that are gonna go to Worlds, and the only one I have full confidence in right now is Cloud9. So I want to know exactly what this team is up to. What can they do? How strong are they? Do they actually stand a chance? I'm mostly watching LPL nowadays, some LCK, but I think LPL is just, boy, they are exciting to watch. The top teams and even the bottom teams try some crazy innovation. I've seen Graves jungle with Ignite. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this, and hope to get back to form.